Okay, recording is started. Okay, yesterday, what what we have seen, we have done all the five CRUD operations. What are those? We have created a record. We have get the list of records. We got the single record as well. We have also updated the record. We have also deleted the record. Now, today we are going to what we are going to do is we are going to apply various filters to that queries. Okay, suppose. You are getting now I want answer for this, which method we are going to use if we want to get the collection of records, many records, which entity, can anyone tell?
Get entity set.
Yes, because it acts like an internal table, or in JavaScript you can call it as an array, which get us all the set of records, right? Okay. Yeah, now if you want to pass some filters to it, see, now you are getting all the records from the table. Now there are some cases where you need only a certain list of records based on some condition, right? Now there might be some requirement in your application, or the user wants this list, like he want to check uh, all the employees whose name is something. Okay, he want to get only that list. But here, using the get entity set, you are getting the complete list. But what if the user wants only the some part of the list? In that case, you can pass the filters into our query operation, and you need to handle these filters in your OData part. Along with that, you can also pass the comparison operators. Comparison operators are equal to, not equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or less than or equal to. And you can also pass the logical operators and or not, string functions, starts with, ends with, contains. You can also pass the date functions, date, month, year, and you can also pass the additional functions to lower, to upper, trim, and order by. Okay, we will see how we'll pass the filter now. Okay, so what I'm doing is now I'm passing the filter. Okay, what filter I'll pass is, let's see, first we'll log in. Okay, I have logged in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to IWFND main service. Okay, where is our service? Our service was Z something, Z demo, right? Z demo OData something it was. Yeah, where it is, Z demo OData. This is our service. So I'm going to SAP Gateway Client. Now I am going to get the entities. So what I'm doing is I'm calling the get entity set to get the all the list of records. See, now I'm adding the URI option as JSON because it's easy to understand instead of the XML format. So JSON format. Now I'm executing it. So what we are getting all the list of records. We are getting all the list. We are not passing any filters. That's why we are getting all the data. So now I want to get all the list of employees whose name is Harish or something. Okay. See, I want to get all the list of employee records whose name starts with Harish Gupta. So what I'll do is I'll pass that filter here. Okay. You need to pass filter like this. After the entity set, you need to give question mark and dollar, and you would need to mention filter. Okay, this is the method, this is the type that you need to follow. This is the syntax to pass the filter to an entity set: question mark, dollar, filter, and then you need to give equal to, and now you can pass your filters to it. So we want to get I what the requirement is now is I want to get all the list of employees whose name is Harish Gupta. Okay, this is my name. So I want to get all the list of employees whose name is Harish Gupta. So I need to tell that employee name. So I need to pass this employee underscores name. So what I'm doing, employee name, okay, equal to Harish Gupta. So I need to pass like this. Okay. Now I'm executing it. Why employee name not found? Why employee underscores name?
Employee underscore name. Yeah.
Emp set employee. Okay. Let's execute that first and see what is the. Okay, you need to pass like this, employee. Okay, question mark dollar filter equal to employee. What is it? It's underscores NAME. Okay, equal to Harish Gupta. Okay, so I want to get the list of all the employees whose name is equal to Harish Gupta. So like this, you need to pass the filters to it. See, it got all the list. Now we'll pass the JSON. We'll see in the JSON format. See, it's getting all the records. It's not getting only the Harish Gupta's records. Why it's not? Why it's getting all the records? Can anyone tell? Why instead of getting only the name, only the employees whose name is Harish Gupta, but it's getting all the records? Why it is getting all the records? Can anyone tell? Rajiv, you might be knowing, so you can tell because you have already exposure on ABAP, so you might know why we are not getting the list of employees instead only with Harish Gupta instead of getting all the records. Why?
Your query is correct because of dollar symbol.
What dollar? It's a syntax.
Question mark. Okay.
It's a syntax. Nothing to do with that syntax. We are passing the filters correctly. Everything is okay, but why we are not? Why we are getting all the list instead of getting only the name, only the employees whose name is starting with Harish Gupta?
Because of the entity set.
What is the reason?
No idea, Harish.
Okay, you Vivek, you have any idea?
No, Harish.
Okay, see, we are passing the filters. At the same time, you need to handle that filters. You need to handle that filters here. Okay, see, we are passing the filters, but what is our query? We are not handling that filters. What we are getting? We are getting all the records. We are not handling the filter. We are not added that filter here in our code. That's the reason it is getting all the records. Okay, so first what we need to do is, while reading all the records from the table, you need to pass here those filters, whatever the user is sending from the URL, whatever the user is sending from the front end. He is passing the employee name as Harish Gupta, but here we are not passing that filter in our select query. That's the reason it is getting all the records. Even though you are passing anything like this, it's not caring the what filters you are passing, because we haven't handled that filtration. You understood now, Rajiv and Vivek?
Yeah,
Basically, source code is not there. Correct.
Yes, we have means he user is passing the filters, but you are not caring and you are just doing the select query. Okay, so so what you need to do, you need to get those filters whatever the user has passed, and then you need to pass that filters in our select query. Okay. So first we need to, how we'll get that filters. Here, if you see, there are many parameters here. Out of that, we'll get the filters in this IT filter select option. It's a table of select options. Whenever you pass the filters in this parameter, you are going to get the select options list. It's a nested structure. You know what is nested structure, Rajiv?
Uncompiled one.
Nested structure means it's a table inside the it's like a work area. Inside that work area, there is another structure. Okay, it's a structure inside the another structure. So you will understand when we see. Okay, it's like an array inside an array, object inside an object. Okay, you can think like that. Okay, first what we need to do, we need to get the select options from the user. Okay, what I am doing, I am first I'll declare the internal table to get the select options. Okay, data lt underscore select underscores opt. Okay, what I'm doing type, what is the, okay, 1 minute, I'll need to put charge. Okay. Yeah. LT select opt. Now we are giving a name to it. LT select underscores opt. What is the type of it? Its type is this. It should be of type this one. Okay. Now I'm copying this and pasting here. Now we have declared the LT select options. Now what we need to do? We need to push that LT select options filters, whatever that we are getting from the front end. So now I am using this lt cell underscores opt. Okay, equal to, see, again you have some methods here. Okay, where it is. Okay, you'll directly get those filter options from lt select, from it filter select options, or you can directly get it from here as well. L O, sorry, LO underscores filter. Why it's giving error? Get. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll directly use the IT filter select options as well. Okay, so what I'll do is, now I'll declare a work area as well. Work area means internal table, cell underscores opt. Internal table can accommodate multiple records. Work area can accommodate only single record. So I'm declaring both. Okay. Uh, its type is, okay, let's declare this one and let's see. Okay, control C. I'm passing. Okay, sorry. Okay, I have declared. Okay, I have declared these things. Now I need to pass that filter read table. From where we are going to get that filter options, whatever the user has sent, we'll get from IT filter select options. Read table IT filter select options. Okay, into where we are going to push, we are going to push push to one work area. What is our work area? ls underscore cell underscores opt. Okay, this is our work area. And which filter we are going to put? We are going to put filter only for employee name. So I'm with key property equal to employee underscores name. Now, if the user has passed any filters for the employee name, we are storing that filters in ls select opt. So now you need to pass that filters here in where condition, where which filter? Employee name. Okay, equal to sorry, in. If we are using the select options, then you need to use in instead of equal to, because it's a nested structure. ls underscores em sorry ls underscores cell underscores opt, and inside it it has a nested structure. So why it's not showing anything? ls select opt, ls select opt, select. Okay, let's type it and check in the errors, what errors we are getting. Okay, now I am getting the filters from the front end. I'm pushing it to a work area based on the employee name. Now I'm passing that filters into my select query. Checking it. ls cell opt cannot be converted to the row type of it filter select options. That type is also okay. So type table of, and I'm using, okay, then we'll use like it and lsl opt cannot be converted to the row type of it filter select options into ls like line of. Okay, okay, select options, we have given the wrong name here. Okay, now we are done. In the debugging, you will understand what we have done. Okay, first what happening, whatever the filters that we are passing, we'll get in the standard parameter called it filter select options. It filter select options is an internal table. So what we are doing, we are filtering the property with employee name, and we are pushing into the work area called ls underscore cell underscores opt. Now since this is a work area, it has only one record with the property of employee name. Now we are passing that filter into our select query. You understood, Rajiv and Vivek?
Yes, Harish.
Yeah, what about you, Vivek?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any doubts?
No, no.
Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me, because you are new to ABAP, right? So that's why I'm asking you again and again. So now I'm passing employee set, employee name equal to Harish Gupta, and format equal to JSON. Now we'll put the debugger and let's see what's happening in each line. Okay. So I'm executing it. So if you see it filter select options, what I told, it's a nested structure, means inside it's a structure Again inside it, it has an against another structure. So if you see in IT select options, see, it has an employee name. It's a table. Okay, it's looking like a table, and again inside the table it has another table. Okay, when I opening it, I'm going to get what are the values that I'm passing. I'm sending that sign equal to Harish Gupta. Okay, e y sign is coming as I. Okay, option is equal to, and the string is Harish Gupta. Okay, and what is what is here? The property is employee name. So when I'm what it will do is it will filter the IT filter select options, and it will get only the record which has the name as employee underscores name, and it will push into the ls select underscores opt. So I'm going to the next line. Now what we have in ls select now I want to get answer in what do we have in ls underscore cell underscores opt. Can anyone, Rajiv and Vivek?
It's a blank data
Blind means
it's empty table
how?
because you bring it from the internal table to the work area single record.
Yeah, so how come it will be an empty table? See, what we are doing, we are filtering the IT filter select options based on what property? Employee underscores name. Do we have that record in IT filter select options?
Yes,
Then it will move into this.
into work area. Okay,
Yes. So what we have now in ls underscore cell underscore opt?
so it will have Harish Gupta single record.
Yes. It has the property as name again inside select options, whatever the values that we are passing. Okay. Just
Then
because it's an nested structure in select in select query, we are passing like this instead of equal to. Okay. In ls underscores, and we are sending that select options. Okay. Now let's see. Now I'm going to next step, and I'm seeing in IT data. In IT data, I have only two records because there are only two employees with my name Harish underscores Gupta. One is 13th, employee ID 13, and another one is 17. If I continue F8, here it will show those two records, Harish Gupta and Harish Gupta. Employee ID is 17 and it is 13. Okay, you understood, Vivek? Or you have any
Yeah,
doubt?
Harish.
You have any?
No, no.
If you have any doubt in writing the select query, you can ask me. Okay.
Yes.
And next, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, lt equal to. Okay, you can pass all these options as well. Now what I'm doing, I'm doing equal to. So instead of this, what I'll do is I want to get all the records whose name is not Harish Gupta. Okay, any. Okay, and we don't need to change our query because whatever you pass, this select query will handle based on that we'll get from this select options. Okay, now I'm executing it. I'll get all the records other than my these two names, this name Harish Gupta. Okay, I'm executing it. See, it got triggered in in ls select options. What we are getting, employee name. Okay, select options, we are getting any means not equal to. Whenever you pass this into the select query, it will filter based on any. It understands any means not equal to. It knows that any stands for not equal to, and it filters based on that. Okay, now I am getting the 16 records out of 18 records, and it has not it has filtered the Harish Gupta records, and it's showing only the 16 records. Okay. Now I'm pressing F8. See, it's giving all the records other than this Harish underscore Gupta. Okay. Like this, you can pass many filters. You can use and or not as well. Okay. String function starts with, ends with, contains. All this you can use. And if you want to use order by query, and you suppose you want to get the list in order by, you can also pass that as well. All you need to do is you just need to put a question mark and again dollar, and you need to mention order by. Okay. Question mark.
Order by means sort by, right?
Yes. Order
Okay.
by equal to, on what field you need to uh on what field you need to sort, that also you need to give.
Employee ID.
So I'm giving as
Employee ID.
employee. You can sort anything, it's your wish. So I'm doing this. Okay, there might be an error. Okay, there might be showing some syntax. Let's see what's the. Okay, what's the problem here? We are passing. Okay, 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 okay. After this, whenever you are passing, if you are passing anything extra, you need to start with and qu- no need of question mark. If you are starting, yeah, then you need to put question mark. Order by equal to employee. I think it's looking okay. Okay, again, it's an the auditor services request could not be understood. And what the error is here? Order by equal to employee. The data services request has been understood, but it's not processed by the processor. Okay. See what it is telling, that the which I am passing is correct, but it's not handled in the backend. That's what it's telling. So, like this, whatever you pass in here, you need to handle everything in the backend in your code. Okay. You need to handle everything in the code. So like this, whatever the filters you have, you can pass these various filters, but what you need to do is you need to handle everything in the backend. Okay. The SAP gateway client. See, yesterday we have all, what is, where is the place we'll test our OData service? Can anyone tell?
IF,
This is the
SICF
place. Why SICF came suddenly?
service test.
See how you will do service testing in SICF. SICF is again a different one. See, we are testing here and you are saying SICF. We are testing in IWFND main service. Okay.
Mm.
This is, see, this is the IWFND main service. And whenever you are clicking and we are, if you want to test, we are, what we are doing, we are going to SAP gateway client like this. Okay. And it is
Oh, okay.
navigating
Okay. Okay.
here where we are testing the services, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now if you want to go directly to this SAP gateway client, you have a T code. Instead of going from IWFND main service, you can directly go to that gateway client. For that, this is the T code /n/IWFND GW underscores client. This is another T code. Okay. /n/, okay, instead of this we'll open in a new window. slash and slash IWFND by GW underscore client. See, it will navigate to us here. Here you can directly test instead of going from IWFND main service. You can also navigate through this T code. Okay. This is the module 5. And testing. We have tested all the CRUD operations using gateway client, and we have also tested using various query options, right? Associations and navigations. What is association? Can anyone tell? We have discussed many times about the association. Can anyone tell, Rajiv or Vivek, what is association?
Between the two
Knowing
objects relationship.
Yes, it's a relationship between the two objects. What type of relation it is?
One to one, one to many.
Yeah, it can be any type of relationship. It can be one to one, it can be one to many to many, one, like anything. Okay. So in OData also we have an association. Okay. Associations represent the relationship between the two entities. Okay. Suppose if you have the two entities. Okay. Two entities, and you want to create the relationship between those two entities. So using associations two you can create the relationship between those two entities. Associations you need to define in the where you need to define the associations we have already seen. We have a folder called association, where we have the association folder in the
This project
SEGW.
SEGW.
Yeah, during the project creation we have seen the association folder, but we haven't touched it. Now we are going to create the associations between the two entities. Means we are going to create a relationship between the two entities. Why we are doing this? If the suppose when you are going to have a sales order, right? Sales order, and it can have the multiple line items. Okay. um Let us see. Take a whiteboard. So suppose, where is the pen? Eraser, pen. Okay. Suppose, are, okay. Okay. Now let us assume you are storing you are storing, you have two tables. Okay. Let us assume you have two tables in the database. Okay. And this is for student data. What you are doing here, you are maintaining the student details. Student details. What details you are storing here? You are storing here ID of the student, and you are storing the name. So this is for the understanding I'm telling. And here maybe you are maintaining the date of birth. Okay. Okay. And you have the again another table, student marks. Okay. And let us assume you have again the different columns. Here you have the ID of the student and subject name. We don't need a student name here again. Okay, based on ID of the student you can get. Here you have the subject name, and here you have the marks of the student. Okay, now you have a suppose you want to generate a report card for the student. What you will do, you need to get what I'll do is I'll tell only my roll number, which is the ID. Okay, I'm telling that I have the ID 500. My ID is 500, let us assume. So I am telling my ID and I need to get my report card. So in your application should like look like this. Here you will show all the name, what is the name of that person, what is the date of birth, what is his father name, all the details you will display here. And here what you need to display, here you need to display the subject wise marks of the student. Will the student will be having only one subject or many subjects? He can have many subjects, so that's why we are having the table here. Okay, and here it's subject name and marks, max marks, let us do marks, and what marks scored and percentage. You want all these details to be displayed. Here is subject 1, subject 2, and subject 3. We are not storing this in a single table. We are storing the main details of the student in one table and his marks in a separate table. Why? Because it's a non-repeated data. Here the student ID repeats because student can have multiple subjects. He is not limited to only one subject. He can have multiple subjects, right? At this point you understand, Raju and Vivek, whatever I have told? You
Yeah.
understand this concept?
Yeah, Harish.
Okay, so now if you want to create an API where you need to get, when you pass this 500 value, you need to get all student details and his marks at a time. For creating this in one API, you need to get all these details, but you can't, we are not storing it in a single table. Here you are storing only header details, and here you are storing in item details. Item details can be many, for means here it has one to many relationship, right? One student can have multiple subjects. He not only writes only the English subjects, he can have more than one subject: Telugu, Hindi, English. Like he can has many subjects, means here it is a one to many relationship. Suppose now you want to create a report card where he need to get the name. So for that one student you have multiple records. So in one API, whenever the user passes this his ID, you need to get the along with the header details, you need to get the item details of that student as well. What are those item details? Subject details. Okay, now for that we need, that's the reason we are going to create an association between the two tables, which in our case in OData we are going to create the association between the two entities. Here we can call the student as one entity and the student subject marks table as one entity. Okay, you understood at this point? Is
Yes,
it clear?
yes, Harish. Yep, clear.
Okay, so now right now we are having only one entity. What is that one entity? What is that one entity? Employee, EMP set. Okay, so now we have seen an example of student. Now we are going to implement an example of employee. So In employee table, okay, let's go to S11. ZMA GW underscores EMP. Now what we are storing here? We are storing the main details of the student. Okay, here this is his ID and this is his name and his number of days present. Okay, we are storing that here. And if you go to again another table, okay, and here is another table where you are maintaining the dependent details. What do you mean by dependent? Your family members. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am going to create an entry. Means, uh, so I'm going to create the dependency. So dependent. So 20 for the 25 dependent number is first dependent, and the dependent type is father, and my father name is this. Okay, now I'm saving it. Now for the same 25 ID, he can have another dependent as well. What is his dependent? F stands for father and M stands for mother. Now I am giving my for mother name. Okay, now if you see for the number 25, he has two dependents. First dependent is father and his name is Subhash, and the second dependent is mother, his mother, and her name is Jyoti. So now there is an application where you want when the user passes his employee ID, you need to get the employee details along with his dependent details. Okay, so now again if you see, we have two tables. One was the previous one where we are storing only the employee details. Now this is an employee dependent details, which means you have that there is a one to many relationship between these two tables, because one employee can has multiple dependents. It's not limited to that you have only one dependent. There is no such rule, right? In any organization you can declare up to two or three dependents. It's not like you can declare only one dependent. Okay, so one employee can have multiple dependents. So now we have the one to many relationship between these two tables. So we have already created the employee entity set. Now we are going to create a new entity for dependent entity. Okay, you understood at this point? You have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay,
Sure, Harish.
this is clear.
Yes, Harish.
Okay, what about you, Vivek?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, so now we'll go to SEGW, and now we're going to create the entity for second table. What is the second table? Dependent. First you need to change, then you need to create. Why it's blacked out? Maybe. Okay, now it is in editable mode. Create entity type. Okay, now I am going to dip set. So I am using shortcut dependent. Okay, let it be dependent, and I'm going to create the related entity set. See, now we have created the dependent entity. So now I need to add the properties for it, or you can directly import the structure, but right now we don't have any structure, so we'll directly add the properties here. Okay, now I'll copy employee, and the another next one is Sorry, I need to append, not insert. What is another? Dep underscores no. Okay, and what's the next one? Department type. What's the next one? Dependent name. So we have added all these properties. Out of this, the key, primary key is this one, and I'm going to make everything as string. Now I'm saving and I am generating the runtime artifacts. See, data provider class has been updated successfully. Whenever you click on runtime objects, what it will do is it will go inside the DPC extension class and it will create those 5 methods for us. What are those 5 methods? Create entity, get entity set, get entity, and all those 5 entities. Okay. See, it has created all the 5 methods for us. If you want to write the code, you just need to redefine it and you can write the code inside it. Okay. Right now, we are not doing that. We are going to first create the association between the two entities. Right now, we don't have any association. So what I'll do is I'm going to create the association. So what is the association name that you want to give? I am going to give the association name as EMP2 dependent. So what we are doing, we are getting the employee. Based on employee, we are getting all the departments that sorry, all the dependents. So that's the reason in order to understand easily, I am giving emp2 dependent. And what is the principal entity? What is the first entity? It's asking. We are telling that it is emp is the first entity, and we are telling that it is 0, not 0 to 1. Let it be 1. Okay. And the navigation property, okay, let it be. Okay. And the entity type name, again you need to select. For see, it's asking principal entity, dependent entity, means what is the header entity, what is the main entity, and what is the item entity. So we are telling that employee is the main entity and the another entity is the dependent entity. Okay. And cardinality is 1 to many. So I'm going to give here uh, m m2 dep m2 dep nav. So we can give to dep nav simply. Okay. Or here to emp nav. Okay. Now I'm clicking on next. How, see, it is asking in the principal entity, employee is the primary key. On the dependent entity, based on which id, based on which property you are checking the equality. So I'm selecting employee. See, because this property and this property, based on this I'm doing the equality check and I'm getting all the records. So click on next. Employee set, dependent set. Okay, finish. Now we have created an association which has the association employee to department, and the principal entity is emp, and it has one to many relationship with one to many relationship, and the dependent entity is this one. Now I am saving it and I am generating the runtime objects. Okay. Now If you want to get the header items along with the line items, the which entity we can use? Can anybody tell? Rajiv and Vivek,
EMP.
which entity? I am not asking the entity name. What is the method that we are going to use?
You're asking the method?
Yes. What are the 5 methods do we have?
Yeah, create method, no?
Create method. How you are understanding that we are going to use the create method? Why we have created the association to get the header and line item details at one call. What we are doing there? We are doing the read operation. For read operation, how can you use this create entity?
Okay.
What
You are
is the
going to
use of
query the
create
data.
entity?
Okay.
What is the use
Create
of
entity,
create entity? It's for
add a
creating a
line item.
record, right?
Creating a record, yeah.
Then if you want to use the list of records, what you are going to use?
Get method, yeah.
Which one?
Read, get method.
What
Entity
is
set,
get entity set? But
yeah.
here we are getting the nested structure, means in the header you will be having the employee details, and for the employee you have the multiple dependents. So we are getting the employee and the employee dependent details at one time. So which entity we are going to use? Are we going to use the get entity set only? We are going to use, again the OData has provided a new different method called expand entity, where you can get the uh, header details along with the line item details in one go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to redefine the expand entity. So let's find where is that expand entity. See, here you have the expand entity. So I'm clicking here and I'm going, first I need to go to editable mode. Then I'm clicking here and I'm redefining it. Okay. Now I'm going back and going up, putting the filter. Now I have this get entity, get expand entity method. Okay. Now I need to write my code here. Okay. You understood whatever I have told. What we are doing now is we are getting the records in nested structure, means we are going to get the header details along with the line item details. So that's the reason we are going to use the expand entity. Okay. So first you need to declare your structure. What is the type of our structure? We are going to have the nested structure. So using the data, I'm going to using the types, means if you are declaring the structure, you need to declare with the types. Okay, types begin off, you need to have the structure name here. So I am going to declare structure name with tyemp and dependent. Okay, so I am going to create the structure include. So I'll close the structure as well. Types and types and of ty underscores emp dep. Okay, so this is the type of this is the place where now you need to, inside this you need to declare what is the type. Inside this you have the two entities, one is for dependent entity and another is employee entity. So you need to create the structure for both. Here employee entity is only a header details, so a header will be only one, and for the dependent you can have the multiple records for one employee. So uh, uh, so the our header is a work area, and the and our dependent table is the internal table. So you need to include both. Include include type. What was our table name? ZMA underscores, what was our name? ZMA.
GW underscore EMP.
Yes, GW underscores EMP. Okay, this is our structure. And again, inside this you need to have this dependent table structure as well. Types. What was our navigation name? Now we need to get that navigation name. Why we
TEMP
are
depth.
getting this error? It's showing. Okay, maybe I didn't complete this one, that's the reason. So what I'll do is I'll get that structure name. What is the structure name? To dep nav. So to dep nav. Okay, to dep nav. Type. What was our second table name? ZM. Type table of, right? This is an internal table. Type table for. Okay, let's use type only. Type ZMA GW. What was our second table name? EMP underscores dep underscores TT. Okay. Now we have successfully created the structure. Okay. Now we have created the structure. Now what you need to do? You need to perform the select query, and you need to push the data to the front end. Okay. Now if the you suppose I'll pass the, what I'll do is I'll pass the employee set, and I need all the details of the employee. Which employee we have created just now? See, for 25 employee, I need the, I need his name, and this I need the details of that employee along with his dependent details. So I am passing this. Okay, I am also, what I'm doing is I am also telling that dollar expand, means I'm passing this filter, I'm passing this query which gives me the dependent details as well. To dep nav. Okay, results not found for the URI segment. Why? Because we haven't implemented this, that's the reason I think it's showing that error. So what we'll do is first we'll get the IT key tab. Okay, see, whatever I'm passing this value from the front end 25, where I'll get that in IT key tab. Okay, this is the IT key tab. So in that we'll get that values. If IT key tab is not initial, means if user is passing something. If IT key tab is not initial, means if it has some data, then it will go inside. Otherwise it will fail, and it will come out of this function. Okay, if the user is passing something, then only we are doing that query, otherwise we are not doing. So what we are doing, we are reading the IT key tab. I read IT key underscores tab into, at runtime I'm going to declare a ls underscores key key underscores tab. Okay, with, why it's giving an error? Yesterday we have done like this, right? IT key tab. in get entity only, I think. Into data ls underscore entity. Yeah, we did, but now why it's giving us red one? See, this is the S4 HANA syntax. You can directly declare like this, but I don't know why it's giving error for us now. So let's try ls key tab with key name equal to employee, because user will pass employee only. That is the primary key. So it's giving an error still. So what we'll do is we'll declare that instead of declaring it runtime, we are going to declare it here ls key underscore tab type. What is the type of it? It is the type of it key tab, it key underscore tab. So now I'll remove this one. Okay. Okay, and now we are getting whatever the value that is that the user is passing, we are getting in ls key tab. Now ls key tab is a work area and it has two columns. One is name and another one is value. In the name you will having the what is the property that the user is passing, and in the value column you will be having the value. So you need to pass that value into the query. Select star, sorry, select star from what is our main table, zma underscore gw underscore emp. Okay, this is our table. Okay, so first we need to check if size bar c is 0, means if we are getting any value from the user, then only this size bar c will be successful. Size bar c equal to 0, then you need to perform your select query. Means if the user is sending something, then only we are performing the select query. Select star from, select single star, because only we'll having only one record for one user in the main table. Select star from zma underscore gw underscore emp. Okay, into corresponding fields of, okay, we have created the structure, but we haven't created the internal table for it. Okay, lk underscore final type, what is the structure name? ty underscore empdp. This is our structure. Okay, so into the corresponding fields of lk underscore final. Okay, where employee, employee, right, employee only, employee equal to, where we have that value what the user is sending, we have that value in ls key tab, ls underscore key underscore tab. In that in which column you have that value? In the value column. Value, I think there is some error. Let's check. it key tab is unknown. Why that it key tab is unknown? Maybe you need to mention that it's a name value pair instead of, okay, it's not a type, it's a type is this one. So I'm copying this. Okay, why it's optional pair. Okay, so I'm checking, activating it. tympt is unknown. Okay, it's not deep. We have created this structure like this. So checking it, you read table it key tab into ls key tab. Ls key tab cannot be converted to, okay, where we have declared ls key tab, ls key tab. So what we'll do, we'll give here like it key tab. save, check. Okay, still, then what we can do, like line off, right? Like line off, because it's a work area. Okay, now we don't have any errors. So now we have filled our, main table. Now it's time to fill our another table. Okay, if it is successful, again we are checking psi sub rc. Psi sub rc equal to 0. Then we are going to fill the our next table. Select. Now it can be multiple records. So I am using select star from, what is our second table? ZMA underscores GW underscores EMP underscores EMP underscores DEP. Okay, EMP underscores DEP. Okay, this is our table into table table, and LK final is a type of this structure. So inside LK table you have this two depth now. So you need to move into this data into inside this LK table. You have the structure to depth now. So you need to push into that depth now. Okay, into table LK underscores final. Inside this you have this to depth now. So it's showing me in the suggestions. Okay, I need to move what, based on what condition, whatever the value that is employee has, what user has passed, where employee equal to ls key underscore tab dash value. Okay, now what all the data we have in LK final. Okay, now we need to pass that value to the front end. After executing everything, it will come out of this, and now I'm checking if there is any data in the in LK final. If NK final is not initial, so I'm passing that to front end. And if, okay, now I'm checking if it is not initial, then I'm sending it to the backend. What, how we need to send it to the backend? We have one method called method call method me. See, this is the class that we are going to use. Copy data to underscores ref. Okay, and here you have this two parameters. One is exporting, and the exporting parameter is exporting parameter is is data. In is data, what we are doing, we are passing our final data lk underscores final. Okay, and we are changing cr data equal to er underscores entity. Okay, now we have filled our mm, structure with employee main details as well as his dependent details. Now let's go and test it. First I'll check if there are no any errors, then we can proceed. Okay, it's telling that no syntax errors found, so it's fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute it. And in you understood, Rajiv and Vivek, whatever we did now? Is it clear?
Yes, Harish.
What about you, Vivek?
Yeah, yeah, Harish. It is clear.
If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay,
Sure,
this
sure.
is
I'll ask.
this is little bit complex. Okay, now I'm putting the breakpoint. Now we'll go, and while testing we'll see each line by line what's happening. Okay, now I have passed this, so I'm executing it. Oh, what's the problem now? Dollar expand. equal to depth now. I'm passing. Okay, I need to use the slash before. Let's see. Still the same error. Oh, what issue? What problem? Question mark dollar expand. What? Where we have done wrong? Employee data to depth now. It's correct only, right? Here you have the association to depth now. Do we need to pass this? I think we need to pass this only to depth now.
Harmony dog face.
To depth now.
Harmony dog face. Prince.
1 minute. Yeah. So dollar expand equal to dependent. Looks everything okay. Resource not found for the URI segment. Okay, okay, okay. I have generated runtime artifacts after creating this. So let's execute now again. Still the same error where I made the to depth nav. Okay, let's create navigation property for this as well. Employee to depth nav principal dependent entity label. Okay. Employee emp to. Okay, I created for employee. I need to create for dependent, I think. Emp nav relationship name is it's an association, and a web field name it comes automatically. Okay. To emp nav. Let's see. Still we have this error. So to depth nav. Still an error. To emp nav, emp to emp nav. I'm not able to understand what's the issue is. 2 amp now. Okay, okay. Okay, Raju and Vivek will stop at this point. I'll try rectifying this error and we'll uh, talk about this tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, okay, Harish.
Okay. Thank
Harish,
you. Yeah.
I yeah. Okay.
Tell me.
Yesterday, where Vivek got stuck, no?
Hmm.
It has